possible. Let's word it like that.
We are live.
Live stream, got it. Yes, I got it.
Okay, and hello, Dagmar. So good to have you with us today. Well, we've been friends forever, and we thank you for joining these talks. This is the first Saudi Oreca after Corona. It's the first event in Saudi Arabia after Corona, and it's our first Oreca talks live. So we would like to thank you for being with us. And we have a lot of questions. Rita prepared a pack of questions for you, and we look forward to hear what you have to say to us. Everything, we're online now, we're streaming live, and we are also live on Oreca show happening concurrently. And well, it's the last hours before. Thank you, Dagmar.
You made it. No, thank you very much, Jumana. My pleasure. Absolutely. So let's see.
Hello, Dagmar. Thank you for being with us on Oreca Live. I would like to take a moment to introduce you to everyone. When it comes to breaking the glass ceiling, Dagmar Symes has shattered it all together. Dagmar has over 3 decades of experience in both the hotel and luxury retail industries across Europe and the Middle East. She was the first female general manager to serve at Lebanon's iconic Phoenicia Hotel, as well as Vendôme Intercontinental Hotels. She was also the general manager of Anantara Al Jabal Al Akhdar Resort, overseeing Anantara's vision of offering unparalleled experience for its guests. Dagmar Symes is currently the general manager of Hill Robinson Project Management. She's an inspirational leader who puts significant importance on the notion of nurturing a service culture within an organization. I would like to add that her great love for Beirut makes her an honorary Lebanese, and we appreciate her for that.
Oh, how sweet. Thank you so much for welcoming me. And that is too much of an honor, but let's see if I can counterbalance these nice words. Yes.
No, I'm sure this is only giving credit where it's due. Now we can begin the interview. Could you please give us a Saudi market overview, opportunities versus challenges?
No, absolutely. I think the kingdom is one of the few gems really investing more in tourism infrastructure than really any country in the world, despite COVID, by the way. And that was also recently stated by the CEO of the Saudi tourism authorities. I think that KSA has used and is using an amazing opportunity under these dark hours for hospitality and tourism to actually getting prepared for proper tourism in the country. Now, fair enough, there are plenty of international investors. You know, there are beautiful new projects in the pipeline, Red Sea, Neom, Amala, and the country is truly, truly booming. So from an opportunity point of view, wow, the sky is the limit currently. Now, obviously, there are plenty of challenges as well. The worldwide pandemic, COVID-19, has sadly coincided with the launch of tourist visas. And, you know, the tourism in Saudi was so far more a religious one rather anything else. And then this also faded away because the religious sites, Mecca, Medina, you name it, were all put on hold and could not be visited. I think another challenge in the future is also the political stability in the region as a whole, because there's always something happening that has a certain influence. And most likely one of the biggest challenges in the Saudi market is its larger young population and the need for education and the much needed skill set, because at the end of the day, we need a harmonization between the educational system and the actual requirements of the labor market. And that will most likely be one of the toughest challenges.
Okay, that's interesting. If you can tell us more about the Saudi tourism sector amidst the coronavirus.
Yeah, I mean, I think like everywhere else, Saudi Arabia faced a sharp downturn in hospitality, in occupancy, in visitors. And what I just said before, sadly, in total alignment They launched the tourist visas end of September 2019, and a few months later, the pandemic hit. So that was a very, very sad combination of events, let's word it like that. And you know, they had roughly projected to open in 2019 and 2020 140 hotels with 55,000 rooms. And this could just not happen. So a lot of these constructions were put on hold, and then we had all the, border closures. So I guess the coronavirus here, similarly to the entire world, has also a huge impact on the tourism sector as a whole.
Deb, what about Saudization? What's your opinion on that?
Look, Saudization, I find it always a little bit sad, to say the least, but in Oman it was the same, that we have to talk Saudization, Omanization, that companies have to fill quotas for locals before they actually, employ others. But I think it's the nature of an emerging market. It's a new economy, if you want, so especially in the hospitality and tourism industry. So Saudization, I mean, the idea behind the Vision 2030 of His Highness Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman was obviously to reduce the number of unemployment of Saudi nationals as a key element of his plan. And right now, I think we are allowed to say, it's not only previously, but still now, you have so many expats and expatriate workers in the country that need to be replaced at one stage, right? But the skill set of the younger population is not there yet, and the growth is so immense that Saudization is a need. I understand that, but it will not fill all the vacancies that are coming up soon. But at least it's a fair opportunity in the private market and to reduce the reliance of foreign workers. The private sector Saudization rate raised this year to 22.75%. That sounds still very, very low. So there's a lot to do in terms of getting local talent on board. So there's a way ahead. There's still a challenge and a good way to go. Absolutely.
Deb, what about women? How are women integrated in the KSA hospitality sector? What are the challenges and how to empower women in the sector?
Now, anyway, that female empowerment is one of my key things, especially in the Middle East and in the kingdom. Or let's word it differently. The kingdom has struggled with issues regarding women's rights for quite a long time. And if you take the Global Gender Gap Index 2020, Saudi Arabia is ranking on 146 out of 153. So that's a pretty low score if it comes to women empowerment. But the country started allowing women to drive in 2018, 2017. You could apply for a passport. You were allowed to travel abroad as a woman above the age of 21. You could start going out without a male guardians recently, so it's opening up in a really fast pace. And I would really believe that the country has done huge progress also in terms of gender equality, because here too, they depend also on female workforce in the future. You cannot only fill these vacancies with male workforce only. And the culture doesn't prevail or prevent females from working, but they just haven't done it over generations. So it needs to grow slowly in a healthy way.
Okay, so also step by step, right? Like
step by step, and absolutely. And the first hotel, actually, the Rural Inn, was opened in 2013. That is not even, that's not even 10 years ago when the first time male and female worked together. And it's proven currently, last year there was the first female GM in Jeddah. It's coming slowly, but And women have shown to be really as competent now as well as their male counterparts, and they're entering first usually the administrative fields, but they start entering more and more also the other service-related areas in the hospitality. So it will be an interesting undertaking, but the possibilities are there. And, you know, I spoke recently also with some ex-colleagues, I should say, now in the market. All the hotel groups support tremendously, not only Saudization, but especially also female empowerment in their recruitment activities. Yeah, so it's coming. It's on a good way, I would say.
Okay. Let's go back to your position. You were the first female general manager to serve at Lebanon's iconic Phoenicia Hotel back in 2018. Yet you remained a big supporter of Lebanon's hospitality scene. Can you tell us why?
Of course, why could I not? Now, first of all, indeed, having been appointed back then at Phoenicia as the first female GM, actually also funny, ever since its inception in 1961, can you imagine? So that obviously was a very stimulating moment in the hospitality community. But, you know, I truly underestimated this assignment back then in being a kind of, let's word it, guiding light in the female workforce, you know, beyond actually Lebanon, because it went really into the Middle East. So why do I love Lebanon so much? First of all, it opened really all doors when I arrived, and I fell immediately under the charm of Lebanon. At the same time, it really gave me a lot back during times of struggle in my personal life. And, you know, the joie de vivre that the Lebanese have exposed back then is an experience you have nowhere in the world. And I was absolutely enchanted by the entire undertaking. And then you have everything else, you know, it's a melting pot of very hospitable and genuine people, highly educated, with a subtle mix of Western and Middle Eastern culture. You have the diversified nature, countryside, all the creative vibes, you know, Jemaizi, Mamikael, might it be art, street art, fashion, and then the roots, cultural heritage and richness, no matter Baalbek, Byblos, and others. And then don't forget food. The food I should have mentioned first, you know, the amazing, the amazing culinary experience and the gourmet cuisine of the Middle East. I mean, it is everything, the clubbing scene, the bars. But I think the most impressive is that despite all the struggle that Lebanon went through in all those years, and let's cut, maybe we do the cut as of, you know, the civil war in the mid-70s and back then, they are resilient, they have hope, they try to fight for the good. I mean, now the times are very, very dark, but it will come back up again. And I think it's a mix. And then, you know, you have to put so much effort sometimes to get things done in Lebanon. I think that also creates a kind of hate-love affair, because you invest so much to get something back that you get very, very attached. So yeah, I'm half Lebanese by heart. I'm fighting for my residence permit again. So let's see how we get this going. Some fresh dollars might make the job. Let's see. Yeah.
You're our ambassador to the world.
I should apply for Ministry of Tourism. One position or the other, you know. I would love to. No, I really fell in love, and until today, I'm on a very, very regular basis back. And, you know, 6 years is quite a time. And it was a very intense time professionally and privately. So a lot of true friends today, and I don't think it's a matter how long you have friends, it's how you connect and how you together, are really in Lebanon. Besides, you know, funny other annex features like hairdresser. It's always nice to say I fly to my hairdresser to my route, but you know, it's a mix of everything.
Dagmar, I have a question. I know you're a big supporter for women. Why don't we put together something around women, empowering women in Saudi Arabia? Does it sound reasonable to prepare something like this?
I would love to.
Maybe we can put together like try to identify GMs of companies, of hotels, and so that we create something around this in the coming future. Does it sound reasonable to do something?
I mean, absolutely. First of all, I think it's really important, and maybe even in KSA more than in the remaining Middle East.
Absolutely, and there's plenty
of here.
You know, there are plenty of very interesting entrepreneurs, GMs. I even discovered there are women, official barista women, and they are certified baristas, which is maybe the only one in the Middle East is in Saudi Arabia.
You see?
So that would be interesting to start working and collaborative work.
No problem whatsoever. You know, we have just yesterday, and you know, I was on vacation. I just came back, so it was a little bit of crazy busy taking up again. But we had a corporate HR, let's call it brainstorming, and we also defined what we need even for our company. You know, and we figured that 80% could potentially be female workforce.
Amazing. So let's build on that. Let's think about it, see how we can.
Would love to.
I think you would be an amazing figure to build around and to make it happen. So let's keep this and further discuss how to move forward.
Yeah, my pleasure. We take it offline.
I know this is something.
Yes.
I know this is a topic dear to your heart, so and dear to mine. So let's work on that.
Absolutely. And the new generation, you know, why should they be blocked? Let's get this all going. And KSA still so much at the beginning of opening up, you know, it's just to see one abaya that has a different color than black is already a shining moment, but it starts coming. And I think it couldn't be the better moment to jump onto that topic as we speak. No, really, my pleasure. Would love to do something.
Sure. We'll take it from there.
Yes.
Thank you so much for an amazing interview as usual.
Oh, thank you.
Yurita, do you want to wrap up?
I wanted to ask Basha in brief, you occupy a leadership position in KSA. Just can you tell us in brief, how were you able to break the glass ceiling so that you inspire other women?
To be honest, you know, my mission was, before even joining KSA, to establish our company here, which was successfully concluded just a few weeks back. And I agree, it could indeed be viewed as exceptional, having been appointed, you know, such a role in such a destination, considering I'm a woman. But if I trust what I was told, then it was really task-based on my professional path, on my experience and the mindset, because I think it's one of the most important key factors to make it happen in such a difficult environment. And yes, I understand it could maybe be viewed as breaking the glass ceiling, but I also am one of those that I do not believe that we are only victims of being blocked. You also have to find ways how to navigate around that glass ceiling, and that you break it open, which leads to the huge encouragement, you know, to the female workforce out there. You have to believe in yourself. You have to build some self-confidence that you can do it, and also this can-do mentality, and just to seize opportunities as they scroll along. You see, I think you have to really tap into this unknown. Very often we go the secure way and we take what we know we can do, but I think that is exactly not what you should do. They're doing something else, and try to make the opportunity fitting you to make it happen. And that is my advice, at least.
Okay.
Thank you for inspiring us and for giving us an insight into the Saudi market. We wish we had more time because all the time is not enough listening to
Oh,
you.
it's gone so fast. Yeah, Tracy.
Time flies. Thank you, Dagmar.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. We stay
Thank
in
you
touch.
both. Rita, thank you so much
Thank
also for all the coordination before that. You're a darling. And Jumana, big hug from here as well. Thank you for
Hug.
having me on the platform. And we work on the next step, female empowerment.
Yes, absolutely.
Super.
Take care.
Thank
Bye.
you so much. Take care,
Bye,
both.
Dagmar.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.